Hello, everyone. So I flew in from Singapore yesterday, and I'm so jealous of your weather here. It's so much better than in Singapore. But I don't have much time to give you compliments about Sydney, so let's get straight into the presentation. So I'm talking about competitive intelligence, and I figured there's no way to talk about competitors without mentioning the quote from The Art of War, Sun Tzu. Basically, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. And finally, if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Basically, you're not a professional speaker if you don't start your presentation from some smart quote. But the interesting thing, there's also a quote that talks that looking at competitors is not important. And it's by Jeff Bezos, who said that the success they had with Amazon is because of the obsession over customers, not competitors. So who is right? Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese military strategist, philosopher, writer, or Jeff Bezos, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist? I'm sorry, that's Iron Man. Actually, both of them are correct. You need both obsession of your customers, and you need to know what your competitors are doing. So I'm sure they would have a great time together. A quick mention of why competitive intelligence is important. So recently, Patrick Campbell from Profitwell, they did some research of 3.2 thousand companies. And those companies that did have competitive intelligence programs, they had 23% lower customer acquisition costs, 18% higher customer lifetime value, and 15% higher customer satisfaction. So keeping tabs on your competitors improves your business, essentially. So how to do competitive intelligence with Ahrefs? Because it's a sponsored talk, actually. But don't worry. How many people in the audience are using Ahrefs? Can you raise your hands? Okay, so you'll get a lot of value from this talk. Those who aren't using, I hope I will persuade you to, or actually some of the tips might be useful even if you're using a different SEO software. So let's see, I'm going through 3 sections. First of all, we're going to discuss 3 very popular SEO metrics and their shortcomings, because you need to understand what are the shortcomings of the metrics that you're using. Then we're going to discuss 3 actionable competitive research tips. And finally, 3 tools, within Ahrefs, of course, to create stunning reports for your clients, for your bosses, to help them understand how you're doing against competitors. So, SEO metrics. The first one is domain rating. What is domain rating? It is an Ahrefs metric that shows the relative strength of a website's backlink profile. I also like to call it the link popularity of a website. So there was a study done by a marketing agency called Aira.net. They asked some 200 or 300 top SEO professionals if they could only use one metric to measure the authority and quality of the link. And most people are defaulting to domain rating from Ahrefs, so this metric is very popular in the industry, but you need to understand what is it good for and what is it not good for. So a lot of people actually using DR from Ahrefs, domain rating, to track their website's link popularity, like how big and popular is their website based on how many other backlinks, how many other websites are linking to it. And for competitive intelligence, this gives you some nice information because you can track your DR, your domain rating, against your competitors. And you can see that MailChimp and Constant Contact, they have domain rating of 93. This is pretty high because domain rating is a logarithmic scale. So the higher you get, the harder it is to get an extra point. ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign have 90, and then down below. To give this a little bit of perspective, if you have domain rating of 90 or over, this basically puts you in the 2,000 biggest sites in the internet based on their backlink profile. So you can see AR. AR stands for Ahrefs rank, and it's basically the ranking of all websites in our database from the one with the best backlink profile and then goes forward. So This one is ranked 1,600, whatever. So what are the shortcomings? First of all, it's obviously not a Google metric. So the fact that you or some website has high domain rating doesn't necessarily mean that it would perform well in Google. It only means that it has tons of backlinks. It is also purely link-based, so we don't take into account any other signals other than the quantity of links mostly. We also look at the quality of links, but not as much as quantity, and no relevant signals. So if some website has a ton of spammy links, it still can have high DR, which means this metric can easily be gamed. So I'm just being honest with you about the shortcomings. And still, domain rating is very useful for benchmarking yourself against competitors, and it is usually directionally accurate. So, like I said, what DR90 means, it puts you in the top 2,000 websites in the internet. The next metric, super popular metric in the SEO industry, called keyword difficulty. So at Ahrefs, it gives estimation of how hard it will be to rank in the top 10 organic search results on Google for a given keyword. So here we have keyword best wireless headphones, and there's a very important hint that helps you understand what DR70 means, because like 70, like how do I make sense of it? So this little hint says you'll need approximately 200 referring domains or websites linking to your page in order to be in top 10, so on the first page of Google, not number one, because no one knows what it takes to get to number one. The whole SEO industry is trying to figure it out. But to be in top 10, we generally approximate that you'll need so many backlinks. What are the shortcomings of keyword difficulty metric? First of all, people expect that we can capture the whole complexity of Google algorithm and answer the question of how hard it is to rank for this keyword with a 2-digit number. It reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy with like 42, the ultimate answer to the question of universe and everything. So the metric is purely link-based. So again, if you look at the Google algorithm, it takes into account a lot of factors which are required for the page to be ranking well. We only look at backlinks. So keyword difficulty in Ahrefs is a proxy to how many backlinks the top ranking pages have. And because the web is rife with shitty links, you often see bloated keyword difficulty, and you often see pages bloated with backlinks, and this can mislead you. And still, keyword difficulty is very useful, and it significantly speeds up your keyword research because you can easily use this to filter keywords where top ranking pages have little to no backlinks. But let's talk about the fact that the web is rife with shitty links, because we are trying to address it little by little, and the latest thing that we've added, so this is the SERP overview report in Keywords Explorer, where you have the top ranking pages for a keyword, and what you can do is you can select a few of the top ranking pages that you're competing with, and you can send them to Overview 2.0 report, where you can see how many backlinks they have. And you can see that those pages that are ranking for wireless headphones, they have anywhere like from 100 to almost 400 backlinks. But we now have a very handy filter called best links, and once I activate it, you can see that those same pages only have about a dozen of best links, quote unquote. So what are best links? Actually, this is a configurable filter, so you can define what best links mean to you. But for example, there are default settings, and I believe the default setting for traffic of a website that is coming to you is 500 visits a month. So usually if a website that is linking to you has less traffic than that, then probably a link from it is not as important as a link from a website that gets tons of traffic. But there are quite a few other metrics that you can configure for yourself, because for different industries, for different websites, the definition of best link or spammy link would be different. This is why it is so handy. You can configure it once, and then you can apply, and you can get better idea of how many backlinks your competitors have and how many backlinks you need to build yourself to compete with them. But overall, we have tons of backlink-related data points that you can use in Ahrefs to quickly filter through all that link garbage that exists in the internet and get to the very best links that you need to compete with. To be specific, we have 65 backlink-related data points that help you separate the wheat from the chaff. And I believe the nearest competitor has about 20 data points or something, so we are far ahead. Organic traffic. It is an estimation of how much organic search traffic your target websites, a folder, or URL gets each month. We studied how accurate is our traffic estimation at Ahrefs, because some people are not very satisfied with how we're estimating the traffic of their website. And the thing is, Ahrefs can be anywhere from 5% off to like 1,000% off, depending on the website, depending on the industry. But the median deviation is like 49%. So we can underestimate or overestimate a website's traffic by like 50% of its traffic. So how is that usable? If our tool can be off so much, how do you even make sense of it? Well, everyone here studied in school, I believe. And this is a very simple equation, because whatever discrepancy Ahrefs has, it stays consistent within the industry, within a topic. So if you know that your website is getting this much traffic according to Google Search Console, and you see how much Ahrefs estimates traffic to a website, and then you know how much we estimate traffic to a competitor, you can easily figure out how much traffic they're getting. So relatively, it stays the same. So for example, here, if we are comparing the search traffic to top email marketing tools, you can see that MailChimp is roughly getting 5 times more traffic than Constant Contact. Can we say that MailChimp is getting like 5 million of visits per month precisely? No, of course not, but we can at least say that it's getting like 5 times more traffic than Constant Contact. So this is how it is useful. It is directionally accurate, and it stays consistent within the industry. Quick bonus, traffic value, because traffic doesn't mean it's valuable. And what is traffic value? We take the cost per click of each keyword that you're ranking for, and we multiply that by how much traffic you're getting. Basically, how much it would cost you if you were getting all this traffic by paying to Google instead of ranking organically. And we have 2 free tools at Ahrefs. One is called Paragraph Rewriter, and another is called Keyword Difficulty. And you can see that Paragraph Rewriter is getting 2 times more traffic than Keyword Difficulty tool. But if you look at their organic traffic value, it's actually the other way around. The Keyword Difficulty tool, the traffic that it gets us, is much more valuable because it converts better and people are bidding for those keywords in Google. So traffic value, very useful metric. Make sure you pay attention to it. Now, 3 competitor research tips. First of all, explore their site structure. This is quickly becoming my favorite report in Ahrefs because it basically can break down how the structure of your competitor website looks like. And it starts from subdomains, so you can quickly see all the subdomains that your competitor has, and you can discover some interesting parts of their website that you wouldn't find otherwise. But then you can click on those expand buttons, and you can drop down what is happening in every section. So here you can see that for our own website, our blog has over 2,000 organic pages, and it's bringing almost 700,000 visits, while this section with writing tools has just 91 pages, and it's bringing over 500,000 visits per month. So this is immediately insightful. Once you plug your competitor's website into Site Explorer and go to Site Structure Report, you can immediately understand what are their strategies in terms of organizing their website and in terms of generating traffic. There's also a comparison mode, which is insanely useful. So for example, here you can see that in the past, 6 months, we've added 49 pages to the blog, but the traffic almost didn't change because some other pages started ranking worse. But to the writing tools section, we added 19 more pages, and this section is going like crazy. You can see that organic traffic change is like 350,000. Very insightful report. I do recommend you to use it. And recently I tweeted, I saw someone analyzing how Zapier.com achieved their sharp traffic growth. And this is because of their blog. So with Site Structure Report, I could easily see that they added 150 new blog articles, and that brought them tons of new traffic from Google. Link intersect and content gap. If you're not familiar with those reports, make sure you use them. I'm not sure why I have 2 minutes left. I should probably speed up. So basically what you can do is you can compare yourself against I think up to 10 competitors, but I typically like to use 3. So here you can see all the keywords that ConvertKit is not ranking for in Google anywhere in top 100 results, but 3 competitors of ConvertKit, they're all ranking for this keyword. So this is very important to understand how you stack against competitors in terms of your content coverage. And you can do the same with backlinks. Basically, you can see backlinks where you can see pages that are linking to 3 or 4 or 5 of your competitors, but are not linking to you. So in this case, you can see that these are lists of tools, lists of email marketing tools, and somehow they're mentioning a lot of email marketing tools, but not ConvertKit. So this is very useful because you can easily reach out to them and say, how can I get my software listed on your page as well? On-page changes. So we have a relatively new tool in Ahrefs. It's called Page Inspect. And it is absolutely amazing because what you can do is you can compare either HTML content of a page or text content of a page between 2 dates, or rather between 2 snapshots of when Ahrefs crawler has visited your page. And as someone pointed out on Twitter, this is absolutely great for reverse engineering anyone on-page SEO strategy. Because what you can do, we have this SERP overview comparison mode, where you can compare how the search results for a given keyword looked like between 2 dates. Then you can identify if some page improved in rankings, and you can go to Page Inspect tool to see what they changed on their page. So basically, you can think of it as archive.org on steroids, because archive.org, it gives you the snapshots of the pages, but it doesn't have a comparison mode, so you have to manually figure out what changed. And the thing is, this is what we're going to release in the next couple months. Basically, we're going to add the actual snapshots of pages, like how they're rendered, and we're going to get a calendar which will show you with colors where the most changes to the pages occurred, and it would be absolutely a killer tool. I can't wait for this myself. Quickly, reporting tools. First of all, the overview report is insanely useful for reporting and showing your customers and stakeholders and bosses what's going on with your competitors as well as your own website. So one cool thing is that you can show multiple metrics on one graph. So you can show your clients or your boss, for example, how the amount of backlinks you're building is correlating with the search traffic, or how the amount of pages you're adding to the website is correlating with search traffic. And you could actually see James Norquay in his presentation, he was using quite a few of those things. Then you can compare yourself against, I think, up to 10 competitors for any SEO metric that is interesting to you. Again, quick and easy. And there are a bunch of other reports that you can explore yourself. Traffic share, very cool thing, because big companies, they often care about how they stack against their competitors for a very narrow, unique amount of keywords. For example, if Nike brand wants to take all the keywords related to sneakers and compare themselves against other brands of sneakers. So in Rank Tracker, we have this report traffic share that automatically pulls all the other websites that are ranking for keywords. And here, for example, for the keyword that I'm tracking in my own Rank Tracker, because this is a real screenshot, we can see that Ahrefs and SEMrush are competing more or less for the same keywords. But what's interesting is that Shopify somehow is ranking for SEO-related keywords, so they're tapping into this niche. And Google.com as well, they're starting to create content about SEO, and we need to compete with them again. We have a very similar report in Keywords Explorer, where you can take any custom list of keywords, you can import it into Keywords Explorer, go to traffic share by domain, and it would show you which domains are getting the most traffic for the keywords that you're interested in. This is also very important and very quick way to show your clients or your boss who has the most traffic share for the keywords that you care about. And finally, portfolios. This is something we launched last year. This is amazing. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Basically, what you can do is, instead of looking at a single project and its progress metrics and its graphs, you can create lists of pages or even lists of websites. So for example, the 2 portfolios I have is one, I'm tracking 10 SEO tools our competitors as a single entity. This helps me understand where the whole market is going. For example, if Google starts eating into the search traffic of all SEO tools, or if we're still growing, and they have another portfolio for the articles that I wrote for Ahrefs blog, because I can see how my portfolio of articles is doing. So yeah, when you click on the portfolio, it opens just like a regular Site Explorer report, but this one, for example, is for 10 SEO tools that I'm tracking, and this is how the industry has been going, but I took the screenshot a few months ago, so maybe something changed there. Anyway, some use cases for portfolios report. You can track your top competitors as a single entity. You can combine multiple websites. For example, some brands, they have separate regional websites. You can combine them into one entity and track them as the same entity. Then you can create author-specific portfolios. This is what we do at Ahrefs blog, because we have multiple authors, and we want to see how each of the authors at Ahrefs blog is doing. Then you can create a portfolio of all the content you created for the client, and you can show them this is how your website is doing, and this is how just the portfolio that we created for you is doing. And then you can also create lists of pages for SEO tests. So if you're applying some change to like a dozen pages on your website, you can create a portfolio and see what happens to the portfolio of these pages, as well as you can create a control group and track the portfolio of pages with the SEO change against the control group. So yeah, that's it from me. What we discussed today is 3 SEO metrics with their shortcomings, 3 actionable competitor research tips, and 3 tools to create stunning reports. And before I finish, I should tell you that as sponsors, we brought some swag here, specifically 2 books. One of them is for aspiring beginner SEOs. It's called SEO Book for Beginners. Another book is for parents among people in the audience. So if you have a kid and you read books to them, we wrote a pretty cool story, illustrated book. I'm sure you're going to like it. I'll be near registration desk. If you want any of those books, come up to me. I'll be happy to give them to you. That's it. Thank you.